Well, happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Me? I'm well.
Are you buying more Mog? You son of a bitch?
No, I think it failed. The transaction I did just right before we came on here looks like it failed. But I'm always a little anxious when it says that because
You're
at
supposed
one
to
point,
sell on the pumps and not buy on the
well,
pumps.
when it came through, it listed it showed the balance of it, but then it's reverted it. So might just try it again right now.
Yeah, I gotta put that on the bottom because this is not financial advice.
This is definitely not financial.
Blake
advice,
slacking.
my
Where are
God.
you at? You gotta
This is-
make sure that we're covering our bases here. Yeah, Mog's pumping. Everybody's happy. That bot Mog.
Everybody's happy.
It is a complete and utter shit coin with only one utility, and that's the ability to Mog yourself.
To be
Put some glasses. You could put some glasses on your PFP.
Isn't that from that's from Team America, isn't it? Transmogrifier.
I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie for so long.
Transmogrification, where they put all the like bits of hair on his face.
Yeah, that's right.
And make him into an Arab terrorist.
First time I watched that movie was I was out hunting. My buddy had brought his trailer hunting with us. It was his first and last time ever bringing it, and it was later at night after we were hunting that day. We went to his trailer and he has it on his phone. He was playing. That was the first time I watched that movie. That was a long ass time ago.
I recently watched it again.
Really?
I did.
What made you do that?
It's always just been one of my favorite movies.
It's funny.
It is very, very
It's funny as shit. Yeah, it's a good one.
There's this one scene where she comes in to look for Gary. Remember, and they're in the bar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Restaurant, and she goes like, Gary, and then just unloads and kills everybody in the entire restaurant. And goes, Gary. There's so many funny lines in that movie.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Other than being eaten alive recently, I'm fine.
What, mosquitoes?
Yeah, I don't know. They were at the pool Monday night, but they didn't like. I wasn't aware that I'd been bitten so badly until like late in the afternoon on Tuesday. And then I was out of the pool again yesterday, and I'm pretty sure I've also been eaten alive.
Well, if you were on the Discord at all, you saw that Cesar Tiberius, who's on the Discord.
Yeah, that's your nephew, right?
No. I don't know if I'll oust his actual real name on air.
Don't oust him.
But he's at the pool. He's friends of ours, and we were sitting there having lunch, and the bees were crazy, and there's a bee trap over by us that was completely empty. And so he takes a piece of chicken, dumps it into like this dressing that we had, and puts it into the bee trap, and literally like catches a boatload of bees. Just they all go over there, and I was like, "Man, you're a genius!" And like, so he was just there a couple days ago, and so he sent me a picture. He's like, "I just killed all the bees." Like, and then he changed his name to the Wasp, or his tagline is the Wasp Killer.
Love it
on the Discord. So that was fun.
Yeah, the bees are insane. They get really dehydrated and angry right around now. And they are everywhere. Like Creekside had their back deck closed because of bees. They have watch out for bees signs all over the greens. Like this, they're just everywhere.
Well, Cesar Tiberius, he needs to come in. He's got a new job. He could be a bee killer for people. So, yeah. But that's not crypto. That's not anything that's going on.
Nope. Just bees.
Just bees. They're annoying.
Bees coin. Buy bees coin.
Done. It's gonna outdo Mog here.
Yeah. Don't buy bees coin. Not
How do you spell that? B-E-E-Z?
Bees. Oh, bees with a Z.
Yeah. Something.
Very American.
We're way off course.
Yeah, we're so off course.
You had a couple of interesting things that we want to talk about today. Let's start with the delisted assets.
If I was you, I'd start with Mog's chart. Because that seems like it's already on the screen.
So I just have it up there, so it's okay. Let's start with Mog. We'll start with Mog, and then we'll see if it goes to zero by the end of the podcast.
Okay. I just bought some like literally now. So if it
more, but you had some beforehand. Let's be clear. So you
had
some beforehand. Yeah. I went on Discord, told everybody, I was like, look, I'm selling now because not all of it. I just got my money out that I had put in. So the rest for me is free and clear. We're just kind of running. It broke out of this little ascending triangle, whatever the hell you want to call it. And it's just blue skies, it's all blue sky growth now. Just go to infinity. So one of the things that is you can see the fib levels are acting as some stopping points or movement points that are on the fib levels. And back in 2016, when I first started trading crypto, fib levels were great. Like it ran fibs. And when you started to see a bull run in fibs, it would go. That's why I have the 2618, 3618, and 4618. Like when they would actually run, you could almost guarantee it's going to go to the 3 or to the 4 on the 4618. So maybe. I mean,
maybe.
I'm holding off for a 10,000x. That's what I'm holding off for. So
10,000x.
that's still
they happen. They still happen.
I know.
They happen in coins like this for sure. I've seen a few,
So,
especially in the last couple of months. I've seen a few. I missed them all, but I've seen them all. I've seen a few of them. I'm like, shit. I should.
Well, if it gets a 4618, what is that? That's a 100x. So
be happy with that.
Is that 100x? 1,000%? Or is that 10x? I can't. Percentage to x's I always get messed up. 10x that is a 10x. It's a 10x. Yeah. Sorry. 10,000% would be 100x. So, so I need 100,000% because I want a 10,000x. Is that too much to ask?
It comes off a little greedy there. Oh, just to be honest.
Okay, I'll take a step back. Okay.
I mean, you could do a lot of good charity.
5,000x,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. If it actually went to that, there'd still be a lot. I do charity work all day long. That's all I do.
Me too.
That's what this podcast is. It's charity work.
I do a lot of charity work.
You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. All right. Well, let's
by
talk.
Charity work. I mean, I'm playing a lot of charity golf tournaments, so I'm getting something out of it. It's not truly altruistic.
Well, you still are. But okay. Well, let's dive into that, because what's the idea that you can actually give something selflessly? Is that an actual thing?
I remember some of this from my psychology
this is
stuff back when I was young. I believe it's almost impossible, right?
Well, it's different people say different things. And I think it really comes down to what your personal opinion on this one is I think ultimately there is no such thing as a selfless act of whatever it is going to be, right? You're doing it because you're going to get something from it, whatever that may be. It may be just that you feel good because you saved that person's life from not getting hit by a truck, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bad example. Maybe that's the only example.
But then
because it's an instinct, you're like to save that person, and maybe you're not thinking of getting anything out of it. Maybe.
However, you have to have a natural disposition towards a hero complex in order to be in the right frame of mind to be like, wow, look, I should save that person.
True.
Whereas a lot of other people would stand around and go, shit, that dude just got hit by a fucking truck, man. And then you go over and you're like,
yes,
maybe cooler.
I had a weird conversation with a friend. This was a long time ago, and it was about it's back in England when this guy went around and he was like killing people with machetes.
Yeah.
Or he was just in a crowd, and nobody was really going to stop him. And I think they ended up stopping him somehow. But he's like, I just ran over there.
Still be going.
What's that?
It must have, otherwise you'd still be
going.
Yeah,
but I can't remember if it was if the police came and stopped him, or what do they call them? The billies? What do they call them?
That's a common falsehood that the English police officers do not have guns. Not all, most of the street bobbies
they call them,
but then they do actually
street poppies. Is that what you call them?
Bobbies.
Okay, bobbies. Yeah. It wasn't billies, it was bobbies. That's what it is. I was close. Let's start
a fascinating fact about bobbies, if you want. It's still absolutely the law that if a pregnant woman asks a policeman to pee in their hat because pee in their helmet, they have to allow it.
Why? What does that have to do with anything? Where did that come from?
I know,
There's no way.
That's straight truth, dude.
Okay. How come Blake hasn't had that picked up somewhere on here?
Because it's so irrelevant to the conversation about crypto.
Well, we haven't. We're 10 minutes in, and we haven't talked anything outside of shitcoins, which that's all anybody really cares about. Not true. Well, you want to talk about some delisted assets?
Delisted assets. Yeah, I'm just trying to find.
So Bitcher, they delisted a boatload of assets recently. I know Town was one of them.
Yep.
I'm assuming was Silk on there, because it should be, because it literally there's some news that came out today.
DC, Kishu, MVDG, LGCY, Akita, which is interesting because
Akita did.
Yeah, they delisted Akita.
So disappointed.
I know, right? Sail, I had some of that. UBT, ADV, Green Fuel. There's S-Doge. I probably had some of that. Anyway, they delisted a bunch of stuff.
Well, so
and then they delisted Town, but they sent a separate email about delisting Town.
But it wasn't Silk. Silk wasn't on there.
Was Silk traded on BitChute?
Yeah, I got it up right now.
Silk is not on this list. No.
Oh yeah, it's there.
Oh, they delisted Potato. Damn it.
Do you own a bit of every damn cryptocurrency out there? You're like, do you own
that's always been my strategy. That's always been my strategy, is especially with these shit coins, is like, you put $100 in, why the fuck not? Just
throw it in there, wait a year and see what happens.
Something pops and all of a sudden you like make 40K. Why not? Financial advice. But yeah, why not? I mean, it's a numbers game, right? Spread yourself thin.
Interesting enough. So I asked for Silk because they came out and said that they're not going to accept Silk directly for tank purchases, which seems very interesting to me because it's part of the game. Why wouldn't you be able to buy?
Does that include upgrades?
They're
base tank.
I'm not 100% sure right now. LA Toolman just said not accepting Silk directly for tank purchases, I believe. And I think this is a new thing that they implemented. They're talking about it in the Discords. Basically, this was a snippet from, seems like even Game Media doesn't like this, no Silk purchases for spider tanks. And Ditmar didn't even know about it, the main developer for spider tanks. He's Spider King.
Isn't that the whole point of all of that? And they've shouted it from the rooftops for a bit, is to create sinks.
Yeah.
Right. And surely your in-game currency should be used to be able to purchase additional game items,
i.e. a tank.
I.e. tanks.
I mean, I don't know how that's not.
If you earn enough Silk, you should be able to immediately buy a new tank or a bigger tank.
It seems dumb. It seems dumb as shit that they're not. But look, I'm not in charge of that. I'm just here for the ride to kind of see where it goes. The tanks have been doing well for me, so can't complain on that end.
Gala's kind of turning into that sort of, they used to be cool, but now they're a little crazy, and we're just kind of
yeah.
Oh shit, here comes Gala again. Don't get in a conversation.
So BitChute delists a lot of assets. They delist all these assets. Why the hell did they list them in the first place?
So my guess is it was a it's a grab. They wanted to be a bigger exchange than they are. But then I think it does come down to the breach in May.
Oh, yeah.
They had a breach in May, and it was on a bunch of shit coins. They lost a ton of assets on them. I think they see them as security issues. So get rid of them.
Yep.
Clean up their platform a little bit. Gear up for the next round to be better. Just be better.
I don't see how they don't go after these exchanges. When you delist these assets and that many, I mean, the list was how long? We got it right here, actually.
Yeah. It was like 30, maybe.
Oh,
maybe not even
this
that.
Is just delisting. Oh, here, this is Blake send it off. So delisting assets. So says we wish to create the most inclusive and wide-reaching cryptocurrency exchange possible. So we try to provide trading services for as many assets as we can. However, from time to time, it is necessary for us to remove services for certain assets. Coins that are experiencing one or more of the below situations may be removed from BitChute at our discretion. 1, assets liquidity falls below a threshold. Okay. Team or prominent community member of the project. What's that?
That might be true of Potato.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised Silk hasn't gotten taken off. Yeah. Team or prominent community members of a project make serious threats against cause or actual harm. Okay, that makes sense. Evidence is acquired suggesting that the project is involved in malicious or illegal activities. Makes sense. Legal opinions suggest that an asset is not suitable for trading. That's vague. The project's team is at risk of disbanding. Let me go back to 4, though. So legal opinions suggest that an asset is not suitable for trading. This, going back to Gala, reminds me of like everything that they say when, why did you do this certain thing? Well, legal told us to. That's just their go-to. Why are you doing this? Well, legal told us to. That's what legal told us to do. So super vague, and you can just kind of throw everything under that one headline. And you got the project's team is at risk of it disbanding, or maybe they already have. A serious technological, economical, or security flaw. The project stops operations. project violates any part of any agreements, the project applies for delisting from BitTrue, so the project does it, or any other situation BitTrue deems relevant. That's the best.
Whatever legal tells us.
Because we want to.
Because we want to.
That's funny. So in reality, I think it probably falls under number one. Is all of these were probably shit coins. They had a lot of liquidity.
They're all shit coins for sure.
Yeah,
they're not delisting anything premium.
Yeah, and so yeah. Anyways, it's funny. Like, how does that not just fall under some sort of major issue going forward? But MOG isn't listed anywhere yet, so when it does.
What did I see got listed on Coinbase yesterday? SIL?
I don't know.
I think it was SIL.
SIL.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is SIL? SIL?
Yeah. I just got a notification about it yesterday.
I don't know. Let's see. The market cap for MOG is 31.7 million. So when I first bought in, I think it was 5 million.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we could probably somebody could pull that up from last week's the podcast 2 weeks ago when we went through the transactions, and I think it was less than that.
Less than 5 million?
Yeah.
No, I think it was, because I remember when I first bought it, I was on vacation.
Right.
Was I on vacation? I don't remember now.
Somewhere for sure.
I think it was. Anyways, but I remember seeing 5 million as that. I think it was 11 million last week. 9 million?
Well, that's a 31.
I don't know. Blake's gonna have to find that out. Here, he got the list of delisted assets. Oh, let's go here first, though. Hold on. Maybe it's moving slow.
Everything's moving a little slow this morning.
Even me.
Definitely me.
Well, you were out at the pool yesterday, so I know what was going on there.
No, I didn't sleep very well either because of the heat.
I know, it's hot here, man. Got fires and stuff. My mom's living at my place because her place is at risk of getting burnt down. So
there's almost no air movement at all.
Oh, it's just dead, which is good for fires, though.
It's good for fires, but it's gross to be in and around. There's like no wind.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything's just sitting here.
Well, let's see here. We got something coming up. We'll do a whole podcast on this, though. I'm going to change some subjects completely. And you're going to do a little voiceover here.
I'm going to do
after we're done here. Because he has that beautiful accent.
And I have a slightly raspy voice because of all the smoke.
Oh, that's going to be better. People are like, wow,
I should buy this.
You know the picture of Chad they always post up? He's Chad. That's what people envision when they hear you talking.
Giga Chad.
Giga Chad.
Giga Chad.
That'll be you.
And then they'll see me and be like, wow.
More
of a neck beard.
So he's going to do some voiceover for some marketing materials for the Real Collective, which is the name of the film DAO that we're going with. And we'll go into depth. We'll do a full podcast on it and talk about, just the vision, the projects that we have that are already either almost finished or finished and in production. So there's quite a few. I think 5 total that's in there.
Depends on what you're counting.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, obviously.
It's not called Earth, Wind, and Fire. Sand, dust, water, animals.
Like I said, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
There's the Wolf Project that I'm working on with Chris Devon stuff.
Devon's, so Mr. Wonderful is in there, I think, right? And Mr. Wonderful is an amazing project I've been part of for 5+ years.
Yeah.
And then what else is the other one? Is the Secret Service one in there?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, it's not Secret Service, Foreign Service.
I don't know.
And then I think there was another one that was listed that Chris brought in from a third producer.
Yes.
I said third, but put 2 up.
I thought you had your thumb up.
Well,
it's close.
Third.
I'll give it to you.
Third producer. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty exciting thing, and I think it's always worthwhile mentioning that we don't just come up with this shit out of nowhere. In that 3 of the 4 people starting this business or starting this DAO have had 10+ years experience in filmmaking.
Yes,
and in fact, actually, I probably the least experience with 10 years. Chris has been doing it for 15, and Devon's been doing it for nearly 20.
Yep.
and it's a high quality team, and we have high quality products and projects that we want to get out there, and
that's just a start to show here's what we have to bring forward.
Oh, that's literally just the seed starting.
Just the seed starter. Yes. I see what you did there.
But yeah, I think the plan is to create a funding mechanism that attracts other smaller production units and production houses, if you want, with creative projects in mind to come make those a reality
and be a little guidance for them, like help them, understand what are they doing, that kind of stuff,
and leverage some of that bigger business things like shared departments, etc. You don't need to, if you have shared resources in like accounting and everything, it makes it easier to make movies, because most of these people don't want to do any of that. They want to just make movies or make films,
and they don't know the process of how do I monetize this, right? How do I get this from point A to point B to point C? How do we move through and maneuver all of the craziness which is the film industry and that media side? So obviously the idea of having it all on blockchain is there too, but this is more of a way to share both in revenue and in the goal of the projects that come on board for these film projects. So obviously we still always like the idea of Web3 being enabled on all these projects, but the technology is just not there yet, and the platforms aren't there yet. So,
and somewhat predictably, the whole conversation about a film DAO started around Gala and Gala Film.
Yep,
it was like pitching onto Gala's film platform as a distribution mechanism. It was like, well, I originally went in, pitched like an $8 million production, but really, I don't think that that's the right fit for Gala's film platform. You need to be being able to develop these things and deliver them post-production at $500,000.
Yeah,
which is totally viable, and you get a great product. But
and so that's where the film DAO comes in. So that's so he's going to do a little voiceover for that, and we should see a testing the waters soon.
I think Chris is pretty keen to push that out on Friday.
Yeah.
So
if we can get it on Friday, that'd be great.
Could happen Friday.
That'd be exciting, because we have one other project that's going to be real soon. We got almost everything done. We need another little voiceover for the Gala DAO, or Gala Collective is what we're calling it. So the collective, everybody's like, why do you call it collective instead of DAO? The idea of the DAO is being a decentralized autonomous organization, which it will be. But these are all starting off centralized, and they have which I don't think we've actually seen any type of project that can actually start decentralized. They always have to start centralized. You have to have somebody that's there and building the base for these projects as it moves forward, and then decentralizing it over a time frame. So both these projects have timelines within their white paper in the Git books that everybody will have access to look at, of when we want to be at a certain percentage of decentralization, meaning no one wallet is going to own a certain percentage of the said token that's going to be associated with those, both with the Gala DAO and the film DAO, the Real Collective and the Gala Collective.
Are you calling Gala Collective Gala Collective?
We are.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's same concept of moving forward with it, right? Like the idea that it's we're building it around the model that we're working with right now in BlackHarp. Like BlackHarp, it runs assets right now, it creates income from those assets, and we want to do the same thing for the DAO. And so ultimately the DAO, BlackHarp's going to run it and then start to move out the positions that are going to be voted on by the people that buy in and are going to be a part of that collective, get to bring in who is potentially going to be the CEO, who's the marketing department. And that's the top level. There's other things that they're going to be able to vote on within it, like what type of games are they going to get into, what kind of tournaments do we want to apply for or host for ourselves. We actually want to create games within the DAO itself.
I know a couple of game devs.
Yes, you do. I actually talked to one yesterday.
Did you?
Not going to say his name on air because there's nothing signed, but it's a game that people were really excited about, actually. And this person has the IP, and it's going to be interesting to see if he wants to bring that to the DAO, because people will be excited about it. It's a fun game. It's one of those addicting games to play. So, anyways, that's another one. So does the DAO want to have this game on board? Do we want to fund it? Do we want to be part funding it and then be able to earn some revenue? So
I just made a note.
I know you did.
Make sure that when we're off air, you can tell me who it is.
You know who it is.
I'm sure, but it could be one of 3 or 4 people.
So. Yeah. So I've been excited about this project for the longest time. It's always been the idea of how do we share in revenue without being with being a security, and how do you raise money? How do you get it to the people, raise money for it? It's always been a cumbersome situation, which is where Seedstarter comes in. They're going to make it super easy to, deploy this out and then let people have access to this and be a part of it. So, got a couple projects coming, just those 2 alone. So hopefully we get that live really soon as well. So
what was the story that came out yesterday about MakerDAO?
I didn't even see it. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to see if I can find it.
You should find it. I should probably get my Discord.
It was a very positive story. It was basically that MakerDAO is crushing it, and everybody who's involved with it is doing real well.
Listen to that raspy voice, man. It's going to be. This is the real collective.
Yeah, to do so. Yeah, it's almost getting in that that weird. What's that called? ASMR. So listen to me just talk about shit. Yeah, I can't find it. There was a story that came out. It was pretty good about MakerDAO is at its very highest level since being like in terms of active members or something.
Let me expand that for you so you can see a little better. Blake just posted this on here. This is a screenshot, I'm assuming, from
we got our rank is 897.
This is old.
Oh, this is old.
This one that you're seeing here, this is old. This is from let's see what it Blake said.
So market cap is 11.
It was 11 million. This is from our last podcast. Okay. So
I knew the number 5 wasn't right.
But see, we did the podcast after I had already posted in the Discord and bought myself. So
yep. We're single-handedly pumping, dumping this shit.
I'm up front with everything it was. Shitcoin is shit, and I'm putting
shit. Shitcoin being shitcoin. What is this rank today then? If it was
let's get back
897.
519.
519. About to hit the top 500.
Woo! You start getting on radars when you're top 500.
Yeah.
Once we get to top 250.
Just whatever you do, don't get listed on Coinbase.
That's the death call.
That's the death call.
Well,
it used to be the opposite, but now it is very much the death call. It's like,
it is.
Shit, now Coinbase is involved
because people like us got in way early, and then we're posting it on Coinbase and selling to everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's usually what happens. Yeah, I don't know, man. We got some fun stuff.
Pull up MakerDAO.
Oops. Don't do that. I hate it when it does that.
Man, now I'm wasting time. Real slow for you.
I know. It's Blake's fault. Way to go, Blake.
It does seem to be Blake's fault.
Come on. There we go. Click on the round. Number 43, market cap.
It's down 7.3%.
I forgot how expensive it was. Maker, $1,000 per.
Yeah, but look at the max supply on it. It's only 1 million.
Yeah.
But it's worth $1 billion. Market cap is $1 billion.
We looked at MakerDAO for the DAO infrastructure, utilizing it. It's still on the radar. Augur is probably where we'll probably sit with though. We've used them a couple times, so that's where we'll go. I mean, there's a few of them out here, but honestly, the reason we actually went away from MakerDAO when we first started DAO talk, and we actually had the people come over here, and we were setting it all up. We looked at Maker DAO as being, actually, I think it was Michael. He was in here, Bar.
Yep.
He was going through and doing some research on a lot of those.
I owe him a phone call.
Get that notepad out.
Yeah.
So, but they had their website, but there was no, like, you couldn't do anything with it, and nobody was answering any questions. And then there were some issues, like people were thinking they were shutting it down, but I think it's still up and running. From what I understand,
there was another one we looked at as well, which had the same issue, which was that you couldn't do anything on the site. And
yeah,
I can't remember what that was.
It's always things like that happen. But I mean, it is what it is. We see what it is. So let's see. Wish I had a little side note.
Side note.
I have to play it every once in a while so people what's going on. Let's see where we're at. We got I don't even know what it's from.
I don't know what it's from either, but both Mason and Jack say it all the freaking time.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I was dying laughing. So my son started playing just the dumb TikTok or YouTube clips, whatever it is. And he's talking about a croissant, and the guy says croissant, and then the little side one, croissant, would come in and play just right after every time he says croissant. And croissant. So it's just so ridiculous.
Is it from
I have no, you can ask me.
It's got to be from, I don't know. What's that game everybody plays?
Rick or I don't know.
It's got to have something to do with,
I don't know, clue.
What is the game? First person shooter, Fortnite.
Oh, could be.
Most of that shit comes from Fortnite.
Stupid Fortnite. What else do we want to talk about?
I don't know. It's your podcast.
It is. It's our podcast.
It's our podcast.
Whenever you're on here, it's
I always like to go through charts. So, all
right,
definitely. Do you want to talk about Bitcoin ETFs?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that because it got pushed off. The SEC came in and said we're not making any decisions on any Bitcoin ETFs until 2024. Which, I mean, fine. I mean, you're just pushing it closer to the halving anyway. You're just going to throw fuel on the fire the closer you get to that, and just turn around and there's no looking back. It's just kind of like, okay, let's ride this horse off into the sunset. I mean, Bitcoin's just been in this stupid range. This is the monthly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months here, kind of sitting in here.
Yeah, coiling up like a cobra.
Well, and it's the old adage of, you sell in May and you walk away. So ultimately, your May time frame in here, right? You sell it, walk away. We had this little pump, but it's still range bound. It didn't really go anywhere. It just kind of went to the top that it was in April still. So, which is normal for summer, right? You get people it just seems to be after tax season, people kind of take their profits and, jump ship and just kind of wait until they go back to work and they're done with vacation.
I know man, it's getting worse.
It is.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was away for 10 days with no signal, so I'm not trading. I'm not doing anything.
That's what a lot of people are doing. Yeah. Same thing. So, and notoriously, Bitcoin is in the third quarter is down. Normally, it has a down month. I think I posted a chart in the Discord a while back showing something along those lines. Oh, he says from the show Jimmy Neutron, Carl Weiser, the croissant.
Man, I used to love Jimmy Neutron. I haven't watched that for years, but yeah, that was a good show. I liked it.
That's funny. So yeah, third quarter normally down. Fourth quarter is usually hot in this fire, and now we're going into the halving next year. This is the stretch, people. Like realistically, if you want to be, in the crypto universe, you should be in and be ready to rock.
What's that market sentiment graph that goes where it's like capitulation and blah blah blah, and then
market psychology?
Yeah. Because you can probably align that quite well to Bitcoin's chart. I always like to do ETH as well, and then you should probably chart Gala because we talk about Gala all the time.
Yeah, I will, but I want to get this the market psychology chart up here. I'll post it here in a second. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of sit and wait season. Sit and wait for the end of September so we can get into October, November, December, that fourth quarter. It's the end of the year.
Back to school, and I got much more time.
Exactly.
Very difficult to work during the summer.
Bye. And then we roll.
I got one kid who's just totally cannot wait to go back to school.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's good.
She is just desperate to go back to school.
Yeah. So the psychology chart. This is the classic chart. You've got your.
There it is.
You can see it a little bit better. Yeah. So where are we? Are we here? Are we here? I mean, my idea is we're in this zone all the way far right where we're from depression going up into disbelief. I think we've done this anger into the depression side, if you really want to try and pigeonhole where we're at. And that's kind of my idea of what we're looking to do. So if you run back over, this is the disbelief. And then we're going to look at, 2024 to 2025 going into the bull rally. Plays out well with election year, like that's the cycle, and get those ETF approvals in. It's just fueling the fire. So let's look at ETH. ETH is, I was looking at this the other day. Same thing,
I was gonna say, it looks exactly the same to me.
It's very similar. You just have this little pump. It's mainly range bound in this zone, and until we, break above this area and hold it on, a daily time frame at least. This is weekly. So I would say, I guess weekly. Even the daily looks like crap. This is still that zone. I'd really want that 19 to probably 2000, that 2K, 19.3 to 2K to really hold as support to see this for this next move up. This is kind of one of my favorite trading patterns. Is this kind of a rising wedge?
Right.
It's playing out fairly decent. This false pump gives me a little bit of worry. Whenever you have a false pump like that, means you're usually going to head back down. But we didn't even get to.
What day was that false pump?
Monday the 10th. Well, that's on the weekly. Let me go back. That was, you're looking at April 14th time frame, 13-14, and then kind of back through. We had this one was more recently was on July 13th. So a month apart. Those could be anything. Those could be expiry dates. I don't know if those were Fridays or whatnot. Those could be expiries. Oh, that's the other thing we should talk about. Is Coinbase got approved to do futures on their platform in the US, which is interesting.
It is interesting.
Now, I don't know shit about futures except for people that bought oil when it was in the when they bought negative oil, or they had oil and it went negative, and they had to you have to take the actual commodities and you have to take possession of it. It's yours. Here's your 10,000 barrels of oil.
Oil, which is
is that real?
$35 or something.
I can't imagine that's for real. Get out of here.
Right.
That's not happening. But I mean,
I'm sure there's an intermediary trading company that handles all
100%. 100%.
Yes, here, money exchanges. These are mine now.
Here's my discount.
Yeah. Or do whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, and so Bitcoin ETF futures. I know Deribit's been using those for a long time, and a lot of people will trade off of the volume that is going into those futures contracts. So with Coinbase allowing those now in the US could be a pretty big deal for volatility, and also give some trading aspect to, what's the next 30 days, what's the next 90 days look like in that. I would imagine that the majority of the futures contracts that are going to come in are going to be long futures contracts because of ETF decisions in 2024. So
yeah, I mean, why would you buy anything that's before that?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I buy it all right now.
And I don't know enough about futures. I need to call Michael Barr.
I know he knows about them, but he's more of an options guy. He was supposed to be doing research. If you're listening, he's on vacation right now. So,
is he?
But he's up north.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he goes up there
once a year. He tries to. So
like the peninsula by Seattle, whatever.
Yep. So he's checking out some places up there with the family. But I need some more info on that. I don't have enough knowledge base on the options or the futures contract stuff. So, but I mean, my big holdings right now are Bitcoin and Ethereum. mainly Bitcoin because of the ETF stuff. That's where the fuel and the fire is going to go. And then ETH, just because it's number 2 and it's got utility. I use it daily with stuff that I'm doing anyway. And then outside of that, I think I actually have XRP. I posted that in the Discord for a while. These are long-term holds that I have that I'm not going to trade until, the next bull run. So XRP
what
and
about
Link.
Doge?
And Link. Oh, I have Doge too. I actually longed Doge. I lost money on my long when I leveraged it. So, but I do own spot Doge too. So XRP, Doge, and Link. Those are my kind of long-term shit coins that I have currently. I obviously have Gala just from node distributions.
You should definitely pull the Gala chart up in there. And I do think we should probably circle back and pull up the H-bar Hedera.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that too. Let me grab some comments here first. Because look at old Timbo doing. He's doing some poor Blake, yeah. He's doing a little bit of technical analysis over there, Tim. Let's see here.
Inverse Head and Shoulders.
Inverse Head and Shoulders are great. I don't know if he was talking about ETH. I should have had the comment section up. I need more screens out here.
ETH's
I gotta go back to ETH so
ETH's pattern was very similar to Bitcoin, and that's 1146. So 3 minutes ago, yeah, it's
a pretty choppy. I could say that choppy inverse head and shoulders ish, for sure.
Is he not talking about the very end? Will you zoom in
right here?
Yeah, is that like a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders right there?
Yeah, I mean this little thing looks like shit. Go back down to this range, but totally could be. Gala's in the green today. What's up with that? Somebody posted in a Discord about Gala, and they were like, "Oh, I think it's going to go below 2 cents," which highly looks like possible. Looks like it. I didn't think. I think it said I don't like it going below 2 cents for very long. Like daily or weekly. I don't think it sits down there for too long. I think the 2 cent mark has a lot of volume that'll hold it. But I drew these two little, these are the highest liquidity zones that you're looking at for Gala that I kind of think it's going to bounce around in. And then until we see the real bull run start to take hold, I don't know if Gala actually will push up much higher because there's so much sell pressure from Gala. Like the amount of volume that goes through Gala, like the token, the amount of sell pressure that Gala, the company, puts on them to pay bills is a lot. And, they're not the only ones that sell. There's other people that sell too, but they have the bulk of it. I mean, they sell a fuck ton. So that's going to be really difficult for them to get out of this little zone here and move forward. So they need the bull run to actually make it so they don't have to cover expenses, sell so much.
When bull run?
2024, 2025, bro.
Right, I can make it.
Yeah, you got it. Next year, so let's see, 2024. So these are cycles. So if the cycles follow the same, you got to think we're in the summer of 2020 right now. Okay. So if you remember 2020, we went to December. That's when Gala really started to pump hard in December of that year. I don't think they follow the same pattern, but the idea that you're going to start to see stuff really start to move up. Bitcoin did a nice move in December as well into January. And then we kind of went a little sideways and then we started to move up again. And then 2021 was the big year. Remember May, we sat in here in May 2021, calling the top and not selling. It happens.
Relying on the time traveler's paradox to not be real.
Yeah.
At some point, somebody's going to come back and slap me in the face in the middle of Safeway and say, "Sell your fucking God, dickhead."
So if we look at that, well, realistically, we've got you're a year and a half, and stretch it out because we still had a mini bull run, with Gallus especially, but a lot of the altcoins had their little run all the way up into November.
What is Gallus' current market ranking? Because I'm always looking for it to not decouple too far away from the market in general. So as long as it's moving with the market, with greater market conditions are playing a role. And if it decouples in either direction, and most likely it would decouple down, At that point, you're like, well, this is actually the project and the token itself that is causing this problem, not the wider market. I mean,
they're 73. They're number 73.
It's not terrible.
No. Look, and I think Gala will do well. I still think Gala's going to do well in the next bull run. Their biggest problem that they have when it comes to token price is the fact that they have to sell a shit ton to maintain the level of employment that they have there. They have a lot of overhead.
I'm thinking of a crazy bet right now.
Ooh, okay. I like it. What do we got?
So we're going to come record a podcast in another 2 weeks.
Okay.
Do you think Mog will overtake Gala's market rank?
No. Damn it. In 2 weeks? God, if it did. That'd be great. So going from 5 something to
bet you a
top 70.
Mog.
I'm in. That's better.
What is that? That's like,
I don't even know. I'm in. 1 million Mog.
1 million Mog. 1 million Mog.
It's like $1. Is it even $1? I don't think it's $1.
I don't know. What's the current price of Mog? It's like 0.000000.
It is. So in actual USD.
How many zeros? It's a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. 7 zeros.
818.
818.
Beachfront Avenue. That's A1A, isn't it?
A1A, yeah. 818.
About 8 cents.
Done, dude. I'm in. 1 million Mog.
1 million Mog.
And you think it's going to be under or over?
You wouldn't take the bet if it wasn't me betting that.
Yeah,
I think Mog is going to overtake.
It's an 8 cent bet. I'll take whatever way you want me to go.
I think it's going to be under. I think it will be under. All right, more later.
Done.
I'm going to bring it in cash. Cash.
How are you going to get Mog in cash?
Mog. I'm going to make it.
Oh,
I'm going to make it with 8 cents worth of paper.
Sweet. I like it.
Oh.
All right. So Gala, last one. Only want to do H bar.
Just pull up H bar's chart, because,
and then we'll end this bad boy. Yeah, he was talking about ETH. Timbo was.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. It was kind of a, sliding upwards in. Let me get this. You want
more of an upside down shrug.
Yes, exactly. I'll go Coinbase on it. Might as well. I'm in the US. We're on the daily. I mean, this is when you had texted me about it. I don't know. It just looks like a.
But you see, so this is, and H bar has been around for a long time.
It is. Let me find it in the longer term.
And I would also have a look at, its market cap and blah blah. But it is, we've talked about this before on podcasts, is older assets that are actually delivering on their project's promise.
100%.
H bar is one of those, and I think there's a few others that are out there. Do you remember Walton Coin?
Yes,
WTC?
I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Are they actually doing something too?
I just think I put them in the same bucket as H bar.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like, there's a few of those coins that we all bought 5 years ago, based solely on the promise of their project, and they had good teams. Right. They weren't shit coins necessarily. They were actually in the space trying to deliver a technology and a solution. And H bar is doing that. I mean, being picked up by FedNow is everything that we would hope for many of these other coins.
Yeah. Because they're actually building.
They're actually building stuff, and they're actually delivering stuff, and they haven't gone away. What was the one that was owned by, the dude from Starbucks was on it?
Oh, it was Dragon Chain. Yeah, we've talked about that one multiple times.
Yeah. Dragon Chain.
I saw somebody post their logo actually a couple days ago on Twitter. Like, if you know what this is, we can be friends.
All right, you're gonna have to call it because my babysitter's calling.
All right. Well, it's time anyway. We're at 49 minutes. Blake, go ahead and lead us out. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll talk to you another time.